5 ways to find sponsored campaigns as a blogger or influencer. When most people start blogging or start a social media account, they think the dream is to get paid to work with a brand. And frankly, it is. It is not a bad dream. It is a great thing to pursue. It is just something that maybe will take a little bit longer than you think and may come in a different form than you would like. So let's talk a little bit about how we can do this in a way that doesn't set back the entire influencer community, right? Because so many people are like, oh, influencers are the worst. All they want are freebies and free things. So the first thing that we need to establish is that you are not doing this for freebies. You are doing this as an exchange of services, and at one point you will likely be getting paid for your services if you are marketing to a significant amount of people. So once you become an influencer that can prove that you're driving traffic, that you're driving conversions, that you're generating sales for a business, then you become just the same as advertising with any magazine or commercial outlet, right? You are somebody that is driving back sales, and you can root your value and what it is that you're charging in actual numbers and case studies. But when you're just starting out, you may have no idea what it is that you're doing or how to even find brands to work with. So let's talk about the 5 different ways that you can find and start working with brands on different collaboration projects. The way that most people think that they're going to get connected with brands is through influencer networks. And these are valuable. I do recommend that you check them out. I like Perlu specifically, but there are a ton of others like IZEA, Tap Influence, For, Zine, Brand Ambassador, even Influencer for those who are just starting out and aren't necessarily calling themselves content creators yet. That's actually a great one that I recommend if you're somebody that just wants to start getting free products and reviewing them on your own personal channels to get some, content in your portfolio for when you're pitching brands in the future. These platforms are great, and I definitely recommend that you join them. Find the ones that you think will offer opportunities best suited for you, but understand that the opportunities on there are sporadic, right? They're few and far in between. You have to qualify for them. You have to apply. You may not necessarily see the biggest bang for your buck from these platforms. Also, because you are just another applicant, there's really not much that distinguishes you aside from pure numbers. So when you're somebody that is just starting out, it can be difficult to excel and really stand out on those platforms. The second way that most people try to get brand deals that also doesn't necessarily work too well, but I wouldn't disregard altogether, is cold pitching. So the way that you do this is by going on Google, seeing what brands have worked with other bloggers or influencers in the past. Usually you would Google whatever it is you're looking for, and then all opinions are my own, and then that'll take you to a blog post of people that have worked with these brands in the past. And that's a good way to start to see who it is that you can reach out to, right? Who is amenable to working with creators. From there, you can go to the website and find what the address is, who you should contact if you're looking for a press contact, or you can use websites like hunter.io to get a personal email address of somebody. But I recommend that you have some sort of reference as to why you're emailing them specifically versus just calling them outright. Something like you have followed their work, or you enjoyed this particular article that they did, or something of the sort. So it can seem a little bit more personable rather than just a cold pitch, and so they don't just automatically forward your file to that mass inbox where everybody is sending their pitches to. That can be really hard to get out of, because once you're in that abyss, it's just one of many, right? So you really want to find a way to distinguish yourself. To best do this, I suggest that you do this next option. Option number 3 is to go to conferences. Going to a conference is the best way to network with a brand representative face to face. It makes you far more than just that random person that emailed that random email address, right? Now you are a contact. Some conferences even have speed dating to facilitate the connection between you and the brands. If this is available, I highly recommend that you take advantage and have different materials ready, not just your own business cards. This will probably be the only time that you'll need to use them, but I do recommend that you get some to give out at these conferences, but also your media kit, right? front and back one pager that tells people who you've worked with in the past, what your audience is and your reach, what kind of services you offer, what your demographics are. All of that will be crucial in making a good first impression so that these brands are more likely to want to work with you moving forward. Find conferences in your blogging and influencer niche. Everything from the Women in Travel Summit to FinCon to ZorkFest. Travel conferences I recommend you go to include Traverse, Travel Massive, TBEX, the Women in Travel Summit, the New York Times Travel Show, World Travel Market, International Media Marketplace. There are a ton of different conferences out there, and if you go to these conferences, you will get that elusive business card, right? That has their personal email address. You'll be able to reference having met them at the conference when you email them, and then you take yourself out of being just this random person who has decided to cold email a PR address to being a prospect. Another bonus of travel conferences specifically is that most of them have a press trip before or after that is comped and part of your ticket, so you can apply to be part of that and start to build your portfolio as well and say that you have officially collaborated with a brand on a press trip, even if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of followers yet. The fourth way that influencers and bloggers can find brand deals is through communities. So I love different Facebook groups, different membership communities. I personally am part of the We All Grow Latina community for Latina entrepreneurs. I'm part of the She's Wonderful community for female travelers. And all of these communities have a paid component that allow you to be part of a bigger group where you then get access to different opportunities, different campaigns, different pitches, different collaborations that they're doing. And I have actually found very lucrative 4-figure, 5-figure opportunities through my memberships in these different communities. Some of my favorite Facebook groups for travelers specifically include the Female Travel Bloggers group and the Solo Female Traveler Network. And the fifth way to work with brands is not as exciting, but I will say it happens. They find you. So that's why it's so important to get publicity and to put yourself out there and to share your story as much as possible, because brands will actually approach you. Make sure that you have an email address in your bio or a way that people can reach you to contact you if they want to work with you. Make it an official email address, right? Like mine is jenruiz@jenonajetplane.com. I also have a management@jenonajetplane address. So have an address where you can funnel these inquiries and let people know where they can go to find you for inquiries. And then be present, be on the internet, be creating content, have an online presence, because these brands will notice, I promise, and you will get a lot of inquiries flooding your inbox. It will get to a point where you will have so many that you don't even read and respond to a lot of them unless you know it's an inquiry that you really want to move forward with. So I highly recommend that you make yourself easy to contact and that you don't make it so that people have to hunt to find your information, but that you're out there, you're creating content, and you have a way for brands that want to work with you to reach you directly. I would be weary about anybody who comments on your Instagram posts and says something like DM us for a collab. When you are a brand ambassador and you're getting a discount off of a product, you are not in a collaboration, right? You are paying to promote their product. Even if it's a discount, even if it's something that you think is worth it to you, understand that that's not the same as an actual influencer deal, right? In a brand partnership, and that you can get those, no strings attached, no payment required, no ambassadorship title without any actual meaning behind it, even with a low amount of followers. If you follow these steps and you market yourself in the right way and you know what your audience is, you know their demographics, you know their age, you know if they're male or female, you know where they're based out of, you know what value you can offer a brand, you can get brand deals too. Brands place advertisements and commercials with small channels in the same way that they place them with big channels. But you have to start thinking of yourself as a media channel, as a way to help promote, advertise, and actually drive sales to a brand. The quicker that you get this mindset shift and you look at your digital content as a business and as a marketing channel, the quicker that you will start to monetize your online presence. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and leave a comment with any questions that you have so I can answer it later. And subscribe to my channel where I help you find ways to work remotely and live the life of your dreams. Till next time.